Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations. We're back to looking at Star Trek The Next Generation. We have a two-part in this case. The Chain of Command. Parts 1 and Part 2. But get a little bit of detail though before I get into it though. This will be, like, both episodes were the last of the Next Generation to air before the next, Trek show, Deep Space Nine, which was a spin-off of Generations. So, let's not waste any time. Let's talk about Part 1. And what actually happened? Well, in Part 1, Jean-Luc Picard is basically told, he had basically given a mission and told, like, hey, we need you to step down and put this other captain in charge. In this case, Captain Edward Jellicoe. Because they want to go after the Cadassians because they believe they're up to no good.
A great many people are depending on our efforts here, Goldemek. We don't need to quibble over minutiae.
I have come to negotiate a Federation withdrawal from the borders, not to be dictated to by some mere captain.
I can see you're not serious about these talks. If the Cardassian Union truly wishes to discuss peace, they can send someone who can negotiate in a civilized manner.
So, but one thing that leads to another is that while Picard, Beverly Crusher, and Lieutenant Worf, basically they are all trying to, get out of there before they get, captured. And Picard gets captured, and it leads into Part 2. What did I think of it? Well, I thought most, say, the idea of, say, a new captain having to take over for a period was a fairly intriguing idea, because it showed how, in a way, another captain would react in different situations compared to Picard. Because Picard, in a way, he's more strategic. He's willing to think about it, say, hey, getting someone to the table and think about it. Whereas Jellicoe, he's also, gonna think about it, but he's also going to, think, I've got all this land on the table, now boom, I have you, sort of deal. He's willing to try to, has a plan, and he's gonna stick to that plan. And I thought the acting from, majority of our cast, from Ronnie Koch, did a great job as Captain Edward Jellicoe. Whenever he is having to, do multiple sequences, scenes with other characters, yes, they're able to, say, I'm not so sure I like him. Every character, that is.
Commander, he's asked me to completely reroute half the power systems on this ship, change every duty roster, realign the warp coils in 2 days, and now he's transferred a third of my crew to security.
If it makes you feel any better, you're not alone. Captain Jellicoe has made major changes in every department on the ship.
Yeah, well, I don't mind making changes, and I don't mind hard work, but the man isn't giving me the time I need to do the work. Somebody's got to get him to listen to reason.
It's not going to be me. He's made that abundantly clear.
But he is able to really, I don't know, I feel like he does a great job with the character. At the same time, I think David Warner as Goal, he did a great job. He was captivating in this episode especially when he is first saying, "Hey, Picard, I want to know what you know," kind of deal. When he is like, doing all that, he is like, yes, he does a fantastic job. Like, even though he has all the makeup on his face, you're able to still get all the emotions facially. Even though, like, you know, the moment where he's like talking, he might have a bit of a smile, but he can still work under all that makeup. So he does a great job. Let's look at part 2. And what happened in part 2? Well, in part 2, some members of the crew are like, you know, feel the pressure from Captain Jellicoe, and so basically they're just at one point, Will, he basically gets demoted because he disagrees with Captain Jellicoe. So basically, and then Picard is basically held hostage to try to give Gull all the answers that he wants. But eventually, Captain Edward, he's able to get all that done, and say, "Hey, they give us back Picard." I gotta say, this episode was great. I loved the moments. I mean, when it came to the dramaticness of it, when Picard is basically told, like, "See, how many lights are there?"
When children learn to devalue others, they can devalue anyone, including their parents.
What a blind, narrow view you have. What an arrogant man you are.
It is, like, you know, even, like, as a bit of, like, say, I guess what I'm trying to say is, it was done fantabulously when Picard is basically just like, he's looking at lights, he's really not willing to say the wrong answers at the same time again. I don't know, I just felt like, say, this episode was great. Both Stewart and David Warner, they worked off wonderfully together.
Shall we begin again? How many lights are there?
What lights?
Say the moments where I feel like he is knocking out his part are situations like, say, "Hey, I think you're a small-minded man," or something like that. He's like, so like he's thinking, he's like, "I see you as a 6-year-old," or something like that. That was great. But I do agree with a lot of folks as well that the best, most powerful moment of the episode is, well, not only is it when Jellicoe he's like saying, like, "Be careful, here's our weapons," and all that, but when Picard goes, "There are 4 lights!"
There are 4 lights!
And he basically, he just leaves and all that. It's great. They both did a wonderful job. I can't wait to talk about Deep Space Nine. I really can't wait. I'll see you next time.